guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, just wanted to kind of calm everything down, and really from the title, you guys already know the topic that we're going to be talking about today is really just focusing on mental health. So I just want to come and talk to my pregnant mamas. And I really want to lead from the front with this because I feel like it is probably under discussed. I actually Googled mental health and pregnancy on YouTube, and I was very surprised at how little comes up. And so I just want to be a resource to a pregnant mama out there that your mental health is important, regardless of who around you wants to treat you the same as before, regardless, okay? And so I'm just gonna lead from the front with this conversation and have a really transparent, open and honest conversation with you about where I have been and some things that have helped me to kind of cope and get ready to bring life into this world. And so, if you don't know me, my name is Adrienne, and here on YouTube, I just really talk about faith. I lead everything with faith. I incorporate a lot of different topics on my channel, but the one thing that you will find in every single video, that I hope you find in every video, is faith. A faith topic, or is my faith incorporated in the way that I live my life, how I steward my family, and how I raise my children, soon to be children. Let me just start with telling you guys where I have been as far as mentally, so this season has been a roller coaster for sure. And the season of pregnancy by itself, outside of any other influence, is enough. I want to just take the time to let you know that I see you, and to let you know that you are doing a lot, even if you just sit on the couch for 9 months. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you are literally bringing a human being into this world that will be a functioning individual in society. They will breathe on their own, God willing. They will live, they will grow, they will think for themselves, and they will become, in Jesus' name, a productive member of society. And so I want you to understand that that is a task. Bringing a life into this world is not an easy thing to do. I think it's understated that just because everybody else does it, or just because we all have done it, women, every single person on this planet has come through the canal of a woman. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whether naturally, C-section surgery, listen, you go in one way, you come out the same way. You understand? So don't underestimate, just because there are billions of people in this world, on this planet, that your job and responsibility is, oh, everybody's done it, so you can do it too. No, sis. Take time to really digest the fact that what you're doing is truly, truly miraculous and does not need to be understated and undervalued. Now, I want to let you know, or I want to kind of talk about some things that have helped me, or some different challenges that I have been faced with in this season, and some things that have helped me to kind of overcome, get through, work through. And I really want to, when I say lead from the front, I mean through transparency, that you may find something to latch onto that might help you, or that might really allow you to just understand that you truly, truly, truly are not alone in this world and in this walk, in this season of pregnancy. Baby, I want you to understand and remember that this is temporary. This is temporary. This season of life, this pregnancy, is temporary. Now, if you're anything like me, you may, it may be your natural instinct to run from problems. You know, they have this, in psychology, they like to call it fight, flight, or freeze. And I won't go down the path of that, but if you know anything about that, then you might identify like me, and you are either a flight or a freeze. I am not the fighter, okay? So in some instances I freeze, but in most instances it's my natural psychological instinct to flight. And that just means I run the opposite direction of problems, or I run the opposite direction of confrontation, or I just kind of cocoon myself. And so I want to let you know that you're not alone if that's you, that there's nothing wrong with you because you don't choose to do things someone else's way. And I really hope that you understand that, you know what I mean? So, okay, so let me talk about myself and kind of the roller coaster season that this has been for me. And then I'll kind of get into some things that have been working for me that hopefully will work for you and help you too. So this season has been pretty, unsteady, if you will, since my surgery in December. And I know I promised you guys that I'll talk about that when I'm ready, and basically over the summer once baby comes and all of that. So stay tuned, stand by for that entire story. But since that surgery on December 3rd, I have been in kind of like recovery mode. I've been in catch-up mode. I felt like my life is spun out of control a little bit, and I just kind of feel like, you know, God has really impressed upon me to slow down. And so I spent the month of December recovering, and I spent the month of January trying to reconfigure or trying to get back into a routine of things. Malachi started full-time school. I tried to figure out what my new routine was gonna look like. And then I also spent the month of January, my husband was graduating with his master's degree, which I've mentioned in a couple of videos. He was graduating with his master's degree, which was gonna be a super, super, super big deal. And I didn't want to look over it like we had in every other season of our life. Like every time something good comes up in our own life, we are so quick to move on to the next thing. Well, I wanted to change that trajectory. And so this season I decided to not overlook that. And so I spent the month of January kind of really prepping and preparing for his party that we were gonna throw while he was finishing up his schooling. He finished up his schooling and we threw his party on February 18th, and I'll throw some pictures and footage in here. And it was a really great and awesome time. He absolutely loved it. The turnout was amazing. It was small and intimate, which is just the way he likes things. And it was absolutely perfect. That was on February 18th. And then the next day I had a meeting for the blog that I've mentioned on here, and I was actually going to surprise my friends, my girlfriends on the blog, because I had been off of the blog for a couple months due to my recovery, my surgery, my first trimester, and how things went there. And so I was going to surprise the girls, right? Well, long story short, clock rang 6 p.m. and my friend, the one who hosts it, is typically a 5:55 type of person. She is early, she's on time, she doesn't miss a beat. She's very systematic, routine type A like myself. She's on it, right? Well, she didn't show up. And long story short, I got word that she had passed away. So absolutely devastating, absolutely heartbreaking, crushing, all of the emotions that you can imagine. It was just very, I mean, it's still very surreal. And so today is March 10th. And so her funeral was actually 2 days ago. So I've spent the last 2.5, 3 weeks really trying to digest what the heck happened. Like, what in the world? Like, are we really, did I really just bury my friend? Like, did I really just go speak over her casket? Is this, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, okay. And then, my husband has had his own ups and downs, right? Which, you know, they're not my ups and downs, if that makes sense, when it comes to like his personal family. They're my family, but you know what I mean? Like, just the dynamic of relationship that is there. I've had to watch him experience and go through his own emotional journey with it all. And then friendships and just all kinds of things have just kind of like done some funky stuff in this season in our lives, right? So those are some things that have been happening in my life. And I wanted to come on here and kind of bring some tips to any other mamas that may be having any other issues. I know that as I'm going through my pregnancy, I'm thinking about, you just think about a lot, right? And so I've had to deal with these things as a hormonal, pregnant, soon-to-be mama. And that has not been easy. And so that is the nature of why I wanted to film this video, because I really want to let you know that no matter what, I see you, and more importantly, God sees you. He really, truly does. And so I want you to know that you are valued and you are valuable. I don't care who doesn't see it in your own life. I don't care who doesn't believe. I don't care who tries to make you feel or relive your past. I don't care. You are valued and you are valuable. So mama, I want you to know and rest assured that God truly does love you, and he sees your heart. He sees the brokenness. He sees the parts that you don't talk about. He sees the things that you don't mention. He sees the things that you have unspoken prayers about. He sees the things you don't even know how to muster up to say. And so a couple of things that have helped me to cope, and just some tips that I want to give you, are to do something for yourself on a regular basis. I don't know what that looks like for you. I don't know if you like to cook. I don't know if you like to clean or organize. I don't know what you like to do, but I do know that you need to do something for yourself on a regular basis and not think about anybody else when you do it. I know that that seems easier said than done, but it's true. And this is a motto that I live by sometimes. It is better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Okay, I'm not gonna ask for your permission to go over the budget every month, right? I'm not, and I'm just being completely honest. I'm not gonna be reckless, but if we go over, we just go over, right? Sometimes, okay? And so for me, that requires spending money. I don't know, that's just me. Personally, I like to spend money. I guess maybe it's called retail therapy. I don't know. I don't really identify it as that. I just kind of identify it as like, it might be retail therapy. I don't know. I don't really try to put a label on everything like that. Because I have created a strong discipline for myself in the area of finances, I feel like splurging sometimes just does my heart great. It just does my heart well. And I believe that I shouldn't have to apologize to spend an extra $20, $30, or $40 here and there, especially because my family has maintained our debt-free lifestyle for the most part, right? The only debt that we have now is our car, but everything else, we don't have any credit card debt, no loans, nothing. We don't have anything outstanding except for the car note. So I don't feel bad to spend a little bit of extra. Does that make sense, right? We gave ourselves that boost for a reason, and it was so that we could enjoy some of the pleasures of this world. And I'm sorry, but money is required on some things, right? I'm not gonna justify that. And that's just me. That's just personally me. But I will say that what that has looked like for me is doing for other people through my finances. And this kind of goes in with the second one, which is do something with your hands. Okay, so do something with your hands. I believe, like I said, back to cooking or gardening or creating, crafting, something like that. And so what that has looked like for me in this season is I make these little leis. I think I showed you guys these last summer, but I recently learned how to add 3 colors to them. And so I have just been like in awe with how beautiful these have turned out. I absolutely love them. And so I decided to gift them to some graduates, right? So one of my, I would guess you would say maybe like a spiritual niece, she graduated with her master's degree as well. And so I'm gonna send this, she lives in Korea. I'm gonna send this to her with some other things attached to it. So still putting that together. But then these, now my husband and I, again, we're in ministry. And so we have an upcoming event where we're going to have we're telling people right now to invite people. Our service is coming up. My husband and I are the youth and young adult pastors over our young adults at our church. And so I made these for first time visitors. So basically when they come in, you put on their neck, and that's how we'll identify. And that way you don't have to put a name card on, but we can still identify. And this is a nice keepsake from our church to them. Whether they come back or not, they'll still remember, hey, oh, that was so fun. So I've decided to make something with my hands. I also have a little burn pit outside where I go out there and I kind of just burn leaves. My husband raked up all the leaves. He blew all of them together and put them in bags. And so we have a burn barrel outside. And every couple of days I just go out there and I just burn leaves. I just start the fire and I burn the leaves. We kind of live in the country a little bit. It's kind of city, but it's kind of country. But because it's a controlled fire, I don't feel bad. And because it's not like plastic and animals, it's not a whole bunch of crazy stuff, I don't feel bad to burn the leaves. And I only do it every few days. So I'm gonna finish up whatever he has out there, and then hopefully by spring they'll all be gone. But that's been very therapeutic for me, as well as it has gotten me out into the sun. So that's what that's looked like for me. And then the other thing that I really want to stress is to get off the phone and or social media. This season for me, because of my husband graduating, I've been on the phone with companies, with decor, this and that, and family, and trying to get gifts sent and trying to get all this stuff coordinated and surprise him at the same time. So I've had to be really strategic about it. And then getting on social media, seeing that, you know, everybody's posting pictures of our friend. She was a wife, mother, daughter, sister in the faith. She was just, I mean, just absolutely remarkable person. It just is crazy. It's just still crazy. But to see all the pictures and all the comments and all the everything, like I said, the funeral was just 2 days ago. So for the last 2.5 weeks, we have been preparing for the funeral. Does that make sense? Emotionally preparing, actively preparing, making sure logistically that we are preparing. And so my husband actually gave the eulogy at the funeral, and then and then I was asked to give words, to give expressions at the funeral. So we did that, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to stand over a friend, okay? And we're not 50, 60, 70, 80, you know, wasn't cancerous, dying, you know, that kind of thing. It's just like, okay. So, get off the phone, get off social media, stop answering, monitor your calls, just take a season for yourself. And social media does nothing but take from you. It doesn't give you much back in terms of peace, tranquility, and fulfillment. I mean, it might satisfy that brainwave inside of you, but it really doesn't do what you think or want it to do. It's a time waster, time sucker. It creates more problems than it solves. And that's just my personal belief. That's just my personal assessment with it all. But I want you to know that you are going to get through this, that this is only temporary, that the sun will shine again, and the sun has not forgotten about you. He sees you in the darkest moments. He sees you in the quietest places. He sees everything that your heart is saying that your mouth just can't utter. And so I just want you to know that you are not alone. And I've had to utter that to myself, you know? And so that's why I can authentically say these things to you. So I just want you to know that you are valued and you are so valuable. I know I'm re-uttering like the same thing, but I just really want to stress that point and take it home. Stress that point for you to take home, because I think that mental health, especially as a pregnant mama, is undervalued and understated, absolutely understated. So I hope that there was something that I said in this video that you could be inspired by, that you could hang on to just a little while longer. This is not gonna last forever. And so be encouraged and know that God, that he that has begun a good work in you shall continue it until the day of Jesus Christ. And so what he has started in you, he is faithful to perform it. He is faithful to complete it. He is faithful to see it through. He will not leave you or forsake you. I know it doesn't feel like it. I know it doesn't feel like it, but the Bible does tell us that all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. So if you love the Lord and have answered the call according to his purpose and not your own, then he will see you through. He is not going to leave you or forsake you. So I love you so much. I really do. But more than that, God loves you and God sees you. So I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope and pray your pregnancy is blessed and you get to hold that beautiful bundle of joy in your arms soon and very soon. And I can't wait to see you on the other side of this season, of this tough season. So I love you and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.